All right, you guys, welcome to another episode of Help with Natalie Cuomo. I am here today with a very, very special guest, Heather, otherwise known as my mom. Mom, welcome to my podcast.
Oh, thank you.
How does it feel? Is this your first podcast?
I've never podcasted before. It is my first time. It's crazy.
And how does it feel?
It feels, I'm a little nervous because I'm worried I'm going to say the wrong thing.
Well, I can always edit it out if you say the wrong thing, but it's not possible for you to say the wrong thing.
Oh, believe me, it is.
How was your day, Mom?
It's good. I went. I drove into Manhattan. I had muesli.
What?
Muesli.
What's muesli?
It's just like mush breakfast.
I mean, okay.
Pret-a-manger. I don't know how to pronounce any French, so I'm ridiculous.
No, Mom. Yeah. I have to say,
yes,
you're one of the most anticipated guests.
Uh-oh.
My mother she is a very talented person. People love when you come onto my Twitch stream. They get so excited. You are an amazing person. You're kind. You are my favorite person in the world. I love you. A lot of comedians, they have terrible relationships with their mothers, but I just have a terrible relationship with my father. No, I'm kidding. I have a great relationship with my dad, but I love you so much. And everyone loves you because you're so sweet. And I'm so excited that you're on my podcast. You've come on my stream on Twitch. You've played Mario Kart with people.
Oh my God. That made me so dizzy.
You've showed your artwork.
I did.
You talk to people. So let's start with the most basic question. Did you like playing Mario Kart on my Twitch stream?
I loved it. It was so much fun, but I get motion sickness. And after about a half hour or 20 minutes or maybe sooner, I started feeling like I was going to keel over. Like I was actually in the Mario Kart, and that was a little nauseating.
Do you like playing video games?
I do. I mean, I know it's not a video game, but I am addicted to Candy Crush. That might be embarrassing because it's so, 10 years ago or whatever it was, but I've continued the same game. It's what I do to calm down.
Well, your birthday just passed, and I highly considered getting you a Nintendo Switch for your birthday. I didn't, as you know. I got you some other stuff. But would that have been a good birthday gift for you? Is that something that you would play, or is that something that you just like to play every once in a while with me?
I think once in a while.
Oh, really?
I think so.
Really?
Probably, yeah.
Elaborate on that.
I think also it's fun to do it with you and then scream into the microphone, when I'm doing badly, whereas if I were doing it myself, I would not be as animated.
So you don't like the...
I like the group aspect of it.
But you're not that into the games that you've played on there.
Mario made me really dizzy, so I don't know. I used to love Neopets. I know I'm going back and dating myself, but Destructo Match was the best. And then there was the one in jail or the bank robber one. Love that one.
Do you like playing video games?
I kind of do.
So why wouldn't you like a Switch?
I don't know. I don't have enough experience.
What kind of video games do you like?
I don't know. I've hardly played anything. Neopets.
Now, can I ask you a question? So, infamously, I suck at video games. I'm playing all these games that everyone grew up playing. I'm playing them for the first time. Right. And I say to everyone, I wasn't allowed to play video games as a kid. Why? Why wasn't I allowed to play video games as a kid?
I didn't know that you weren't allowed to play video games.
Oh, come on.
I swear.
Really?
You didn't have a video game thing. I didn't think you wanted one. Did you ever ask for one?
I remember I got a Game Boy in 8th grade from a friend, and it was not a good situation.
That sounds familiar. Game Boy, but I don't remember like taking it away from you or something.
But I mean, I had 0 video games.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. I guess you were deprived. I don't think you wanted any video games. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
So
I'm
you think I was
sorry.
allowed to play them?
Yeah. You had the Computer Pal.
I had Computer Pal. What was Computer Pal?
It was like a game for maybe 4-year-olds or 5-year-olds to do like math and things like that.
You're right. I did have Computer Pal.
I don't know if anyone remembers Computer Pal, but you had a Computer Pal.
I did. And I enjoyed playing, you could do addition, subtraction on there.
Yeah, and I think you had some other like goofy things, but you didn't have video games. I didn't think you wanted any. Just like you didn't want to go to Disney World. You're like, nah, I don't want that. Or an amusement park. Nah, I could do without that.
So let me ask you a question. I always start the podcast asking,
are you challenging me to move my microphone?
I want to know, Mom,
Uh-oh.
the best advice you've ever received.
I don't know. It's really hard to think of something. The thing that's immediately coming to mind,
Yeah.
which is not really like life advice, although maybe it is a little bit, was I was hesitant to take a job promotion because it wasn't really coming with money. And I was told by somebody, I think it was my old boss, saying, you should always take a promotion, even if it's not, because it gives you like more experience and more opportunity and you're moving ahead. Even if you think like people are like, well, you're not getting paid for it or you're not, like taking on that new challenge, like always take on the new challenge. Unless it's so stressful that, you can't deal with it and then it puts you in a really, really bad emotional state. But otherwise, like challenge yourself to keep moving forward. Now, that's not really the greatest
No, that's good
advice.
It's so different than what a comedian would say.
What is a
Because
comedian say?
comedians, they're just, their headspace is in a completely different place. You're saying stuff that's much more relatable, I think. That's great advice. What do you think a circumstance would be where someone would be hesitant to take a promotion? My perspective is if I got a promotion, I'd say, yeah, duh. Why wouldn't
Well,
I?
I think it was coming with a lot of responsibility and no money.
So it's like an investment in your future.
Yes, exactly.
Everything I do is a lot of responsibility and no money.
Right, and it is
This podcast.
So do this. This is my advice. Do this podcast.
Yeah.
Because it's not just an investment. It's an investment in your future, but it's also mentally an investment in, challenging your brain in different ways, and you'll develop different ideas as you do it. And as long as it's continuing to give back, essentially, within your own brain or from other people, it's a good thing to do.
I have the best mom in the world. I love my mom. Oh, that's
I love my daughter.
That's
I don't
really
know
good
if you
advice.
noticed that.
That's great advice. Wow. That's
Really?
Yeah. I think that's really, really good advice.
And there's probably such more profound advice I've gotten over the years, but that
No,
was
like
the thing
take a
that
chance
just,
on yourself.
Like,
I feel like people say to me about podcasts because it's like, well, I'm taking it and making it about podcasts now, but I feel like people will say like, oh, what if it doesn't work out if I put all of this into it? And it's like, well, you can't believe that it's not going to. What is it?
So I always feel like it's not about like it being like a direct relationship. So, for instance, I've always said that if you want to be a really good engineer, because I'm background in landscape architecture, if you want to be a great engineer, you should take an art class. And if you want to be a great artist, you should take an engineering class, because people who are in engineering think in a certain way, and they can take a lot of classes in doing the same thing everyone else is. But once you get into this other way of thinking, this other dimension, you start to bring it back into your everyday world, and then like you start thinking about what you normally think and what everyone teaches you in a completely different way. So, and then if you say you're an artist, and then you start to think about the structure of the world in a different way, you know what I mean? Like, so those things can give back to the way your brain functions. So, what if it doesn't work out? It doesn't apply, because it's always working out, because your brain is always, growing from the different experiences. So if it doesn't work out, it did work out anyway.
I agree. Oh my God. If it doesn't work, it's not even possible. It is always going to work out.
Yeah. I mean, it may not work out as a podcast for your, you may not end up getting on whatever, taken up.
Natalie's podcast. No, I'm kidding.
But you might not end up being invited to Natalie. Like, look, I took a chance on having a child, and just for the hopes that I would get on a podcast eventually. And look, okay, it took me 27 years. It was a little expensive, but hey, it worked out.
No, but what you gain from it may not even be what you expect.
Right. I actually liked you besides all that. I didn't even think so.
You didn't even know.
I didn't even know. I thought, well, what if she's a monster? But
she was a little bit.
But hey, so was I, I'm sure. But like
Okay, so I agree. You know
that
what you
came out
told
of
me
left field, right?
one time? What you told me
Yeah.
was you should take a different way to school every day, or a different way to work every day. Like you should go a different way. I think about that when I take Rory to the dog park. I think I should walk a different way every time, and sometimes I do, sometimes I don't.
I do think about that, because you notice if you do the same routine every day, you won't notice, like you just become, so used to everything that you don't even see it anymore. Whereas if you go somewhere new, it's a different route every day. But the dog park is very close, so it's hard. You got to go way out of your way.
It's like 2 blocks.
You could walk backwards.
My problem is with like Google Maps and Waze is I don't pay attention to where I'm going, so I wouldn't even be able to take a different way unless I made a wrong turn on purpose.
I know, but it would give you a better sense of geography
if I paid attention.
No, if you didn't use Google Maps,
and then I'd have no idea where I was.
But it would make you figure out. I remember asking you, "Is that north or south?" And you're like, "I have no idea."
Yeah, because who gives a fuck?
I know, but
yeah, I should.
It gives you an orientation. Like that's what we're spoiled with, Waze and Google Maps, because it used to be you had to look at a map and figure it out. Like now I've become like I have no idea where I am. I'm totally dependent on Waze, which sometimes it doesn't function. But beyond that, it's like having the sense of the land is really good.
It is good. I have some listener questions for you if you're interested.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Okay. So here we go. Now I just screenshotted them. So I'll start with my Discord questions, because those are the people from Twitch that they've interacted with you before. We love them. Okay. Fondest memory between me and you. That's from Toast.
Fondest memory. This is going to be really weird. I hope it doesn't sound insulting, but I remember walking with you when you were an infant.
Uh-huh.
Just like in one of those, baby Bjorn type things. And just in a shopping center in Queens, and some guy walked up and he said, "Oh, you look so sweet. It makes me want to have a baby."
That's cute.
Yeah. Is that just was the thing that came to mind? Like,
that's nice.
Just that I loved you so much. I don't know. That's not a memory of you doing anything.
What shopping center?
It was an ugly shopping center.
Is it a good store?
No, it's that one across from the movie theater.
Oh, the one with Kohl's?
No, it was in Flushing, like across from that big multiplex movie theater on the Whitestone Expressway.
Train one?
No, it's grungy.
All right, whatever.
Okay, that's not a really good answer. I think I should have come up with a better answer.
No, that one was good. There's a million questions.
Okay.
Of all the tattoos I have, which is your favorite? That's from Marsh.
I think there's one that I think is the funniest.
Which one?
The one that says your name here.
Oh, you like that one?
It's funny.
Really?
But it's not the most attractive one, but it's funny.
What do you mean it's not attractive?
Well, it's like a joke.
Yeah, it's not like, yeah.
And I think there's one of the flower ones is
like pretty.
Yeah.
Why? Would you ever get a matching tattoo with me?
No.
Why?
Because I have no desire to have a tattoo.
Would you let me get Mom?
No.
Why?
No. I don't want to have this conversation in front of the world. Okay. No, you cannot.
Okay. Now, we're moving on from the Discord. Now, here we go.
Uh-oh.
Was Natalie a troublemaker growing up?
You were not a troublemaker, though you occasionally got into trouble, but you were not a troublemaker.
That's a beautiful sentence. That's a great answer.
I mean, you didn't start trouble. You were a very, really interesting kid. You were not, provocative until you got into middle school.
What happened in middle school?
In middle school, you started kind of rebelling.
I
mean, you weren't you were never a troublemaker, like somebody that tried to antagonize people.
I was always nice.
Yes.
Okay. I'm weeding through them. Wow. Actually, quite a few people said that.
Said what? Were you a troublemaker?
Yeah. What? Did you like the cannoli cake?
Yes, it was delicious. That night, one night, when I think I drove you to an airport.
Yeah.
I came back, it was 3 a.m. I went and got the cannoli and sat and watched TV because I couldn't fall asleep. That was nice.
Okay, these questions kind of suck. I have a question for you. So, you're my mom.
Mm-hmm.
And you know me pretty well.
For the most part.
What do you think are the qualities that would be ideal for me to have in a guy that I would be with?
Well, that's easy.
Really?
Super easy.
What the hell? Why is it so easy? Tell me what the perfect guy for me would be like. You describe your idea of the perfect guy for your daughter. Describe him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Intelligent and kind.
Okay.
Patient.
Mm-hmm.
Interested in a lot of different things. culturally,
Okay.
Analytical,
Okay.
and kind. Did I mention kind?
Okay.
Okay, let me mention that again.
Okay.
Emotionally very well balanced, knows how to keep things in perspective, doesn't overreact, but has a really, really, really good sense of humor. Really good sense of humor, just so I can relate to him. Excuse me. Kind of has his own life and own career path and ideals, and is moving ahead in life, and it isn't stuck. It's close to his family, generally loves people, is very warm, warm and loving, very accepting, and one necessary quality, loves dogs.
I thought you were going to say loves Natalie.
Oh, yeah, that too. and loves Natalie. Well, of course, that would be who you'd be with, is somebody who loves you.
Not necessarily, Mom.
No, yes, that's definitely in there.
Okay, what do you think the ideal age is for me to be of someone I should be with?
Your age.
27?
Yeah.
A 27-year-old guy is going to have all of those qualities?
Yes.
No, Mom.
Yes. Yes.
A 27-year-old guy is not going to have his life together like that.
Yes, he's on a stable career path. Yes.
No, a 27-year-old dude is not going to be that emotionally
No.
mature, have his life together like that. No, I don't know how many
You're right.
27-year-old guys you know.
I've known a few in my life.
When you were 27.
No,
maybe
no,
when you were
no,
22
no,
you
no,
thought this.
No, okay, you could go up to 30, no more.
Okay. Now, okay, great. I feel like people are going to love that. Interesting. So, what do you think is... Wow, you're so insightful. What do you think is like the key to a relationship, to making a relationship successful?
Well, obviously, I wouldn't know. No, just empathy.
Mm-hmm.
The key to almost everything is empathy.
I feel like you're the person that like is the reason that I will be like the bigger person, or like you're the reason that I'll be nice. Like if it wasn't for you, I would probably be a lot more of a monster, because you're like a very nice, kind, you're very giving. Like what is it that makes you always decide to be the kinder person, or like the generous person? What is it that always tells you to be that? Because you're an atheist. Like what is it that tells you to always be the kind person?
Because you have to think, like, what if it were me? What if it were me? Like, you never know what somebody's gone through. And it's like, with people, you have to become that person as you're being yourself. So you're like talking to someone, and then you're like, how might that person misinterpret what I just said? And look, we all make mistakes and we all say the wrong thing, but it's like feeling. So this is going to sound really, really schmaltzy.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember when I was a kid, I used to listen obsessively to the radio. And there was this guy on the radio who, I think he's a bit of an asshole now, and he's still on. But he used to, this was the 60s, right? So he would end his show, his name was Alex Bennett. He would end his show by saying, "Namaste. I see the God within you." So that, it's like, it always affected me, because it was, or I don't know if that's what it actually means, but I think he interpreted it that way. So it's understanding that the other person has that similar thing to you, and sort of seeing each being as a special being. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I remember when I was a kid, I was with my cousin, Nancy,
Mm-hmm.
and we were playing in the yard at her house in Connecticut, and this girl came up to us who I just wanted to be alone with my cousin, who I hardly ever got to see.
Mm-hmm.
And we just loved each other. And this girl came, I think her name was, I don't remember her name, but she came and she she just sat, honed in on our situation, right? We're playing with our little red wagon. We used to go around the block. We'd get a piece of bread each, white bread, go around the block like we were going on this expedition. We'd drag each other, take turns pulling the wagon around the block. And this girl honed in on our little intimate whatever. And she said, and I said, we don't want you here. I said that to her. And then my aunt, I guess she went and told on me.
How old were you?
Probably around 4 or 5. And my aunt came back out and reprimanded me and said, you should never say that to someone. And I always remembered that. Isn't that funny? I never told you about that.
I can't imagine you ever saying that to someone.
I did. I was, I was probably like 5 years old, and I was so embarrassed.
Wow.
Yeah.
Never again.
No, but look, everybody makes mistakes. Like, who knows what you could...
I've said much worse. Much worse.
I'm sure I have too,
Yeah.
We all say things that are, sometimes there was, what was his name? I'm not going to remember it. He was a noted conservative talk pundit, I can't even think of his name. But anyway, so they had this like mock court thing on television, and he said, not William Sapphire, it's the other one. Anyway, so he said, well, they had a mock court, and they said, my instincts tell me to be like, to punish this person. And he said, then later the person's in the discussion, they said, well, I thought you said your instincts would be to punish. And he said, I know, but sometimes my instincts are reprehensible. Which is true, right? Our instincts can be really reprehensible, and we have to, as civilized beings, sort of get a control over our instincts.
But so how do you cope with the times where, perhaps less frequent than I have, you've lashed out or let those maybe animalistic instincts take over you? How do you cope with feeling regret over those things?
You just feel regret, or you apologize, and you try to replay how you could next time not do it. Like, I know sometimes when I get involved in political stuff,
you get heated.
I get really upset, and sometimes I feel like I just go over the top and, see red, right? I mean, I'm just, I think, why did I let myself just get carried away? Couldn't I have just controlled? Like, I always admire people who are like super articulate when they're angry,
Mm-hmm.
and they can just say something so good,
Mm-hmm.
in a calm way. And I just like, that's what I strive for, but I don't always do it, It's like, and then I'd love to like sound really good, like I really admire people who can speak like poetry,
I feel like it's helpful for me to like recognize the feeling, be like, okay, I feel angry right now. I'm not going to talk to anyone. But that just takes a level of discipline that like I've had for a while, and then just have to continue to practice it.
I think one of the things you can do is force yourself to do something else, like go for a walk. Sometimes when I'm really upset, I force myself to do a crossword puzzle because it gets my brain, like that's what I do to relax, because it gets my brain into something that's so abstract and has nothing to do with anything in the real world. It's just like focusing on this one meaningless thing.
You love crossword puzzles.
Yeah, I do.
Now, I have another question for you.
Yeah.
So, have I, Natalie, always loved performing? Did you always know I was going to be a comedian? When did you know I was going to be a comedian? Blah, 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 blah.
So I didn't think you'd be a comedian. I thought you would. I knew you loved performing because you were really fearful as a kid. And then, you know this story, I'll tell everyone. You were in your class play in kindergarten, and you were the star of the show in The Very Hungry Caterpillar. Everybody else was quiet on stage. You were afraid of the auditorium, but somehow it was like you broke out of whatever, like a shell on when you were on stage. You played a pair, which was a really not the starring role. You were just standing there, but somehow everybody else was standing around singing the song, and you were shimmying on stage, and it was like somebody shot you out of a cannon. It was crazy. So I figured that was a good thing for you and signed you up for some classes at Tada, a children's theater program, and you loved it. You loved it. And so from then on, we kind of encouraged you to go do it because, again, I felt like whatever the end is with doing it, public speaking, learning confidence, learning to coordinate with other people, those are life skills regardless of what you did with them. And then when you got out of college, it was a great opportunity to at least try something that you had always loved. So, and then you parlayed that into comedy. Like you did, it started as acting, but I think you love performing so much and doing some of that it was a way to really take control over it instead of waiting for parts and waiting for everything. It was a way for you to write and perform your own material. So, it's a form of acting and it's a form of creativity. And you've always been super creative, like wacky ways of thinking. Like you're definitely like your brain works in a slightly different way.
Do you think people understand how fucking weird I am?
Some do. I think your fans do. I do, because that's the appeal, is the way you approach things is like really a little different. Really different. I always knew that about you. Like you just approach things differently, which is a challenge in life and a skill. So if you can navigate the challenge, it allows you to, do great things because you're really, thinking about things in ways that nobody else does or very, people don't tend to typically think of. But it also makes you more sensitive to the things life throws at you.
Do you think in my act, I talk a little bit about my belly button?
Yeah.
Do you have anything to say about that?
That's been going on since you were born. Well, I mean, you were born with a belly button, but we'll
have to save it for the stage.
Save it for the stage.
Now,
let's just say it's its own character in your life.
It's its own character?
Yeah. It's a person.
It's a person.
It's a separate being.
My belly button is its own separate being in my life. What do you mean?
It's a whole character.
It is a whole character. Instead of siblings, I have my belly button. Do you think it's a help? I mean, is it a character you like or?
Yes, of course, it's part of you. But I don't like it as much as you do.
Yeah. Yeah. Whatever. So I have another question. Let's see what time it is. Okay. Did you think that I was gonna love Rory, my dog, as much as I do?
I did.
You did?
Yes.
Because I didn't have a dog growing up or a cat. And, you know, you got Merv when I was in college. So, yeah, I enjoyed him. But he wasn't like my childhood dog. So my first real dog, like my dog, is Rory.
I know. I thought it would be great for you to have a dog. I think it's dogs are so calming and it's just they're magical. And I thought it would be like this. Okay, so maybe, you know, every time we're together for the first year, you talked incessantly about Rory. Maybe that I didn't expect. But yeah, I thought it would be like really great for you. I thought you would love a dog. And you know, you used to do like sheep. I don't mean that you did sheep, but you used to take that back. Can you cut that?
No, I used to work on a sheep farm.
You used to work on a sheep farm.
But okay, is it true? True or false? Was I deathly afraid of dogs?
Yes.
Tell everyone how afraid of dogs I was.
You would cross the street to get away from a chihuahua. I mean,
like I was like so afraid of dogs.
Terrified.
And
then we traumatized you.
Oh my God. We were going on like vacation to New Jersey.
Yeah.
That's where we would go on vacation to New Jersey. And
Lambertville.
And I was like crying, like there's not gonna be any
We went to a
there.
farm, an Airbnb farm. It was really, really nice.
And I was like, no, I was like, there's not gonna be any dogs there, are there? And my parents were like, no. I was like, you sure there's not gonna be any dogs? They were like, we promise. And I was asking reassurance the whole way that there weren't gonna be any dogs. And lo and behold, we get there. It's a thunder and lightning storm. And who's standing in the door? A fucking dog.
No. Yeah, she was really terrified.
I was crying hysterically. I think there were 2 dogs. And I'll never forget, one day there was a Great Dane there.
Oh my God.
I was terrified. I was terrified.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I don't know why I was so afraid of dogs.
It's probably instinct. I mean, a lot of them are big, you know.
I mean, I was so afraid of them.
You were afraid of a lot of things when you were a kid.
I was terrified of everything.
Everything.
Like really deeply terrified of the world.
Yeah.
I was not. Yeah, it's crazy that I'm even functioning right now. Like the amount of things I was afraid of is actually crazy, Mom.
I know.
It's sad how afraid of the world I was.
I know. Oh, what can I say? Anyone dressed as Barney had to be like. We went to the Queen's Museum, and you saw somebody. It was one of those children's parties. And it was like you'd seen the Grim Reaper or something. Like, and it was like a cat, you know, where they're scratching you. You know, I picked you up and.
It's a miracle I've come this far. I mean, you know, I feel like people really romanticize artist pain or whatever, but then there are all these artists walking around that are successful that don't have enough pain to be successful. They don't understand how much pain it really takes. Okay, Mom. So can I ask you?
Yeah.
How do you feel about astrology? What does that mean?
I don't believe in anything.
What do you don't believe in astrology?
No.
What do you think about it?
Stupid.
Okay. What do you think about tarot cards?
Probably fun, but stupid.
Oracle cards?
I don't know what those are.
They're like tarot cards.
Same.
Okay. So at the end of my podcast, what I like to do is I like to pull a tarot or oracle card. Lucky for you, I brought three decks for you to choose from.
Do any of them have dogs in them?
For anyone wondering, my mom's a triple Cancer. Oh, I didn't bring the dog deck. That would have been good for you, but we did that at home anyway.
This looks good. This one.
So there's the Villain Disney tarot deck.
Oh,
that one.
Disney, no.
Oh, then there's a Tattoo tarot, and then there's the Rebel deck, oracle deck.
With attitude. I'll try the attitude.
Okay. Look, Marsh, your deck is getting picked a lot.
Just because I like the attitude. And it has something that resembles a dog on it, which was
I like to see if it encapsulates the energy of the episode, Mom.
Okay.
Oh, shuffle the cards. Put your energy in them. Well, okay. Yeah, shuffle how you see fit. Oh my God, it's really... Oh wow, that's the one you picked?
Yeah.
Oh wow, it says, get the fuck out of your head. Get in your heart. It misses you.
Really?
What does that even mean?
Like you're too intellectualizing everything. You should just...
How would I be getting in my heart right now?
I don't think so. I think that's a stupid answer.
I think I could be getting in my heart.
Go with your gut. That's what it's saying. But I don't know if you should trust your gut.
Why?
I'd say use your...
You don't like my gut's decisions.
Sometimes your gut is it's a little misleading. Go for another one. Do a redo.
Why don't you? Okay, well,
it's not my fault. Well, it is, but
maybe shuffle them with all the cards in there.
But they're not all in the same direction, aren't they supposed to?
It's okay.
Okay.
Just give them a good shuffle. Put your energy in.
Okay. Okay.
It's not everyone else's fault. It's yours.
I don't like that.
You are a grown-ass adult. Stop blaming others for your shit.
So this deck is a little mean. I want to switch. Is that allowable?
I mean, now that you just told me this bullshit.
No, I don't like
that. It's not
that.
everyone else's fault. It's mine. For what? What did I do?
Why'd you give me this deck?
What do you want, the villains or the tattoo? Disney villains or tattoo?
Disney sounds like the least.
I mean, now that you've insulted me twice. Oof. Oof. No, that's a nice deck. It's a little sassy, though. It's the Rebel deck.
Disney?
No, the Rebel deck.
The Rebel deck. I want the nice deck.
It's Disney. This is a classic tarot. Well, no, Mom, you got to take the whole deck and shuffle it.
I do?
Oh, my God. Good thing I didn't. Wow.
Tell the story about religion and how I told you I would take you to all different religions, and then I never took you to any.
Yeah, because I was upset that I was raised without religion. So I asked for a sampling, and then I never received one. The Fool. Oh, that's appropriate for this, Mom. For this
okay,
episode.
What is it?
The Fool. That's a very appropriate card. Whatever.
What does it mean?
I don't know. I'm looking.
Why is it appropriate if you don't know what it means?
I do know.
You don't know. Ooh, I just moved that.
Yzma's solidly built henchman, Kronk, is enthusiastic and eager to do his best. However, he often blunders his missions by goofing off or getting distracted. The Fool represents someone who, like Kronk, is excited to embark on a new adventure, but whose inexperience and naivete sometimes trips them up along the way. You're on the precipice of an exciting journey. With a spring in your step and your head held high, you're ready to pursue a new goal with limitless potential. The Fool Tarot card advises you to balance your bubbling optimism with a little common sense. If you stay level-headed, focused, and double-check the labels on Yzma's potion bottles, there's no telling where this new path will take you.
Wow,
it's like the beginning of the journey.
They really try to make everything positive. It's Disney, that's why. Is that not right? I'm sorry. I'm ruining everything.
Not everything is positive. There's a death card.
What does that mean?
I'll read it to you. I don't want to read a card we're not pulling.
Okay, never mind. Don't read
I'm
it.
going to read the Fool again. I like to read the cards twice.
Okay, read it again.
Okay, I'll just read the nice part. You're on the precipice of an exciting journey. With a spring in your step and your head held high, you're ready to pursue a new goal with... What? So what's wrong if it is all positive? Isn't that nice?
It is.
It should be all positive.
But I feel like if you're being called the Fool...
No, the Fool is the classic name. Every deck, it's a classic name.
Yeah.
It's the first card in the major arcana. It's the Fool. It's the beginning of the hero's journey. It's the Fool.
I didn't know
It's
that.
the first card.
I didn't know that.
You love tarot.
I love it.
You're a triple Cancer.
What does that mean?
You're a Cancer sun, Cancer rising, Cancer moon. You're a triple water sign. You're filled with emotion, empathy, motherly nurturing. It's you, Mom.
You're right. I don't understand that. You mean like that means I'm not on a cusp of anything? Is that what makes me triple?
No. It's so funny because like now I'd usually like ask people where people could find you, but I don't want people to find you, you know?
Oh, well, you can find me under a rock. No?
Yeah.
Okay. You go under the bridge and there's a big rock. You knock on the tree that has the hollow in it. And there I am. Poof, poof.
Thanks, Mom.
You're welcome.
Thanks for joining.
You're welcome. Thank you for being interested in all my opinions. I think that's the most opinions you've ever asked me.
That's not true.
Okay. I just made that up.